Former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina has stated that the chances of her running for president in the USA are higher than 90% and that she wants to stop federal workers from watching porn at work. Once considered one of the most powerful women in business, she said that the US government needs a pay-for-performance in our civil service in order to ensure incompetent employees are not watching pornography while on the job, and I quote, "How many Inspector General reports do we need to read that say you can watch porn all day long and get paid exactly the same way as somebody who is trying to do their job?" she asked on a recent interview with mainstream media outlet Fox on Sunday. Nick, we see these candidates sprouting around for the election, and her porn comment comes in response to a recent move from Congress to pass a law that explicitly forbids watching porn as a federal worker during your hours, because there was a general investigation that found at least one person in an environmental protection agency that was watching about 7 hours of porn every day, and he didn't get fired because of the bureaucracy. So she grabbed this little piece of information and came on Sunday in Fox, and she said, "I'm running for president, and I'm so good at managing people that I'm going to prevent porn watching in federal workers."
Yeah, I got to say, though, I do agree. I don't think that you should be watching porn at work.
You shouldn't be paying people to watch porn.
Unless you're a porn director. They're the only people that should be watching porn at work. But that's not the point here, is it? No. She mentioned incompetent workers. And speaking of that, her claim to fame is being the CEO of HP, right? Mm-hmm. Also, she's the only person to ever be CEO and get fired by HP. She's rich, okay, great businesswoman. Should she be president? Are there other things that she should be talking about in the world other than this one guy who watched porn for 7 hours a day? Yes.
Yes, and part of the interview that she gave announcing that she's almost ready to announce that she is running for president is that she thinks that her ability to manage big companies, successfully or not, like HP, gives her an edge to treat with the bureaucracy of the US government. Also, she thinks that if another woman runs against Hillary Clinton, Hillary will have so much harder time winning the election than she runs against a man because of the whole "I am a woman" thing. Right. And but I think that she's just trying to get 50 minutes of fame. I don't think she has any chance. There's a big pool of other candidates in the Republican Party that are more qualified, that have better donors behind her, and I think that we're gonna see here and there in both parties these characters that come out and say, hey, listen to me, I wanna be president, give me some attention, maybe raise some money, and
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know what, though? There's a lot of things that she did at HP that we're not even gonna get into that would actually make her somebody who should definitely not be a president, the way that she managed money, things like that. But you know what? Let's look things from the positive side. This is a big step forward. When I think of GOP, when I think of women, who do you think of? Sarah Palin. Yeah. This is a big step forward for them. I mean, she can speak. She's very articulate. Yeah. So that's a step forward from Sarah Palin, who
and she has some
could barely string together a sentence. Go ahead.
She has some experience running for office. She was a Republican nominee for the California Senate seat against Barbara Boxer, and she lost. But she has some experience behind her in elections, so it seems a little bit likable, that she might be able to go to the primaries. Who knows? The thing is that her platform so far is just saying, let me kill porn from federal workers and let me compare Hillary Clinton to Nixon. She went on this interview and she actually said that the email scandal was as bad as Watergate. Kind of a stretch. But I have a quote from that interview where she says, her whole thing is, we need to shift the mentality of the people who is in power so we can do a better government. Right. And she says, people who have been in and around government and politics for their entire lives may no longer be able to see the truth. Our government must be reimagined. And if we want someone who can reimagine our government, then we cannot elect another career politician who knows how Washington works, but doesn't know what leadership means. So, yes, we are seeing this influx of successful business persons into politics. Money and politics, they run hand by hand. But at the same time, I think it takes a little bit more than managing a main corporation to be a president. Don't you think?
Oh, of course. The country is essentially a big business.
It is.
Talking about America, same ideas, but she knows all too well about getting rid of an incompetent incumbent being somebody who was ousted for not doing her job properly.
Yeah.
Giving the big top execs their own private jets, a whole fleet of private jets, their own private parking lots.
The number of
ridiculous
people fired.
Number of people. She laid off 18,000 workers at HP. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's just a few things. Like, we're not even going to get into everything, but it's like, yeah. And it's funny now that she's coming out and talking about, well, we need a change in leadership because, yeah, she knows all about that.
Well, Fiorina pointed out two problems with America's economy. First, she said people have become tangled up in economic dependence upon the government. And also, she says that there's a big government hand. The government involvement is too big, and that is crushing small businesses. Well, we want to know, what do you think? Do you think it's okay for the Republican Party to start having so diverse group of nominees for the presidential race? Or do you think that they should be focusing on those that really have something to say in the election? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the Lib TV.